Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the hidden economy that's running every single AI interaction you have. It's a system working silently in the background, and trust me, figuring it out is the key to really mastering the AI you use every day.
So if you've ever played around with an AI service or built something with an API, you've probably asked yourself this exact question. You run a few things, maybe build a little app, and then bam, the bill shows up, and it's not what you expected. It can feel totally random, right? So what on earth are you actually paying for?
Well, here's the secret. You're not just paying for how long you use it or how many questions you ask. You're operating in a totally different economy, one that's based on an invisible currency. And that currency is the token. Understanding tokens is, without a doubt, the key to getting a handle on your AI costs and, honestly, its performance too.
Okay, so if tokens are a currency, how are they minted? What even is an AI token? Let's break it down. It all kicks off with something called tokenization. See, when you give an AI a prompt, it doesn't read sentences the way we do. The first thing it does is chop everything up into these tiny, manageable pieces called tokens. You can think of tokens as the model's Lego bricks. They're the only building blocks it actually understands. And this image right here gives you a perfect peek under the hood. To us, it's just a simple phrase, but to the AI, it's this whole sequence of different colored chunks. Each one is a token. This is literally how the AI sees our language. Now, here's where it gets a little weird. You'd think one word equals one token, right? Not always. The word apple, that's one token. Simple enough. But blueberries, that gets split into two tokens, blue and berries. This is called subword tokenization, and it's a clever trick that lets the model handle a huge vocabulary, even brand new words, without needing a dictionary the size of a planet. So what counts as a token? Well, pretty much anything. It can be a whole word, like apple. It can be just a piece of a word, like or unbreakable. It can be a single letter, a comma, an exclamation point, or even a string of numbers. It's this crazy flexibility that lets the AI understand basically any text you can imagine. All right, so we get what tokens are, but now we have to talk about the economics of it all. Because in the AI economy, the exchange rate is, let's just say it's anything but fair. And this is the part you absolutely have to remember. The tokens you send to the model are valued completely differently than the tokens the model sends back to you. They are not the same, not in how they're processed, and definitely not in how they're priced. So how different are we talking? Get this, you could be paying a premium of 3 to 10 times more for the AI's response, the output tokens, compared to the prompt you put in. This huge price difference is almost always the real culprit behind those shocking AI bills. So why the massive gap? It all comes down to how much work the computer has to do. Your prompt, the input, gets processed all at once, in parallel. It's super fast, super efficient. But the output, that has to be generated one token at a time. It's a sequential process. And for every single new token it writes, it has to consider everything it's already written. That's what makes it so incredibly demanding and, you guessed it, so expensive. And this quote from Kong Inc. just nails it, especially if you're using AI for business. It says your biggest cost risk isn't how much info you're feeding the model, it's how much you're letting the model talk back. Letting the AI generate long, uncontrolled responses is where budgets go to die. Okay, now that we understand this totally unfair exchange rate, how do we game the system? How do we become smart spenders in this weird new token economy? It really boils down to 4 key steps. First, track everything. It's simple. You can't control what you don't measure. Second, work on your prompts. We'll dig into this more, but being clear is so much cheaper and more effective than being long. Third, use the right tool for the job. And finally, put up some guardrails. Set automated limits so things can't get out of control. Choosing the right model is so important. Look, if you just need a quick summary of an email, using a powerhouse model like Claude 3 Opus or GPT-4 is like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. A faster, way cheaper model like Claude 3 Haiku is perfect for those high-volume, simpler tasks. You have to match the tool to the job. It's fundamental for managing your costs. And then, of course, there's the prompt itself. Be direct. Cut out all the fluffy, unnecessary language. If you want the answer in a specific format, like a bulleted list or as JSON, ask for it. That gives you control over that expensive output. And here's a pro tip. For models with huge context windows, it's often way cheaper to make one giant detailed request instead of having a long back-and-forth chat. So let's zoom out. What's the big takeaway here? Well, this is about way more than just saving a few bucks. This is about giving yourself a strategic advantage in a world where AI is absolutely everywhere. Because when it comes right down to it, understanding the token economy is not just some boring technical detail. In a world where everybody has access to these amazing AI tools, the people who come out on top are going to be the ones who use them most efficiently. This knowledge, this is your competitive edge. And the financial impact is very, very real. Just look at this. A simple 20% drop in token use for a company chatbot, something you can achieve just by using the tips we talked about, can save a company tens of thousands of dollars a year. That's real money, a direct result of spending your tokens wisely. And that leaves us with one final question to chew on. For years, the big slogan in AI was always more data, more data. But maybe that's changing. As we go forward, is success really going to be about who has the most data? Or is it going to be about who understands and spends this hidden currency of tokens with the most wisdom?